Under Uruk's scorching sun in 3400 BCE, a Sumerian merchant pressed a reed stylus into damp clay, creating Cuneiform's first wedge-shaped marks to record barley debts. Workers hauling mud bricks up Ur's ziggurat in 2100 BCE tasted grit in their teeth while chanting hymns to Nana, the moon god. At dawn in 2334 BCE, Sargon of Akkad's bronze-tipped spears cast long shadows across Sumerian walls, signaling empire's birth. A royal scribe in Akkad meticulously tallied 5,400 enemy prisoners on a tablet after Sargon's conquest of Lugalzagezi. Hammurabi's stone carver in 1754 BCE chiseled Euphrates floodwaters soaked Babylon's date palms in 1792 BCE as farmers calculated irrigation canals using BASE 60 mathematics. Ashur-Nasirpal II's siege engines hurled flaming pitch over Nimrod's walls in 879 BCE, choking defenders with acrid smoke. Nineveh's library shelves held 30,000 clay tablets where scholars traced Venus's path across the night sky. A coppersmith at Mari hammered breastplates thin as fingernails, sweat stinging his eyes in 2400 BCE. Priestesses in Eridu's reed huts brewed poppy-infused beer for sacred rituals before Anu's altar. Sargon's daughter Enheduanna composed hymns to Inanna, her stylus scratching verses of divine fury onto damp clay. Gutian invaders shattered Ur's alabaster lyres in 2150 BCE, trampling songs into dust. Hammurabi's judges measured barley fields with knotted ropes, settling boundary disputes under the Lion of Babylon statue. Tigris fishermen netted barbel fish while reciting Gilgamesh's lament for Enkidu under moonlit waters. Ashurbanipal's hunters released mastiffs to corner lions near Nineveh, their roars echoing royal reliefs. Sumerian potters painted lapis lazuli onto funerary urns, depicting souls crossing the Hubber River. Scribes in Nippur's archive copied Enuma Elish creation myths by flickering oil lamps during sandstorms. Babylonian astrologers charted eclipses on cracked turtle shells, whispering Marduk's omens. Assyrian sappers tunneled beneath Tyre's walls in 671 BCE, their bronze picks echoing through limestone. Uruk's weavers dyed wool crimson using crushed murex shells, fingers stained for months. Sargon's soldiers marched 34 leagues through Zagros passes, leather sandals fraying on volcanic rock. Hammurabi's tax collectors sealed clay bully with cylinder seals showing Shamash's sun disk. Ishtar Gate's glazed tiles shimmered with golden dragons under midday sun in 575 BCE Babylon. Assyrian deportees from Samaria carried cedar logs up Mount Nimrod in 720 BCE, ropes cutting shoulders. Sumerian diviners read oil patterns in water bowls, predicting Ur-Nammu's fatal fall from a ziggurat. Akkadian armorers riveted scale mail with copper pins, testing each against bronze-tipped arrows. Babylonian midwives recited incantations to Gula while easing births in reed-thatched houses. Ashur-Nasirpal's sculptors carved dying lions writhing on palace reliefs, obsidian eyes gleaming. Merchants from Dilmun unloaded pearls at Lagash's quay, haggling over weights in silver shekels. Gutian raiders burned Nippur's grain silos in 2130 BCE, smoke blotting out Utu's sun. Sargon's cupbearer mixed wine with honey and myrrh in golden rhytons for victory feasts. Hammurabi's surveyors mapped fields using knotted cords, calculating yields with abacus beads. Assyrian sappers diverted the Tigris to flood Babylon's walls in 689 BCE, mud-swallowing bricks. Sumerian brewers fermented dates in giant jars, the sour tang permeating Ur's alleyways. Naram-Sin's stonemasons carved the king ascending Akkad's ziggurat like a star god in 2250 BCE. Babylonian exorcists buried clay demons beneath thresholds to ward off Lamashtu's curses. Ashurbanipal's librarians sorted medical tablets describing wound sutures with linen thread. Uruk's potters fired kilns to 1,000 degrees, glazes melting into lapis blue rivers. Sargon's scouts drank from leather skins in the Amanus Mountains, scanning hostile lands. Hammurabi's enforcers blinded a thief before his family, enforcing Law 196's brutal symmetry. Assyrian cavalry bred Nishan stallions standing 15 hands high, their hooves thundering plains. Sumerian lamentation priests chanted dirges for Dumuzi while tearing robes in ash-smeared grief. Naram Sin's soldiers raised victory stelae after crushing Armanum rebels in 2250 BCE. Babylonian astronomers tracked Mercury's retrograde on cuneiform tablets marked with grid lines. Ashurnasirpal's torturers flayed rebels alive, skin nailed to Nineveh's gates as warnings. Ur's goldsmiths alloyed electrum for Queen Puabi's diadem, hammering petals thinner than locust wings. Sargon's daughter Enheduanna composed. Hammurabi's architects calculated ziggurat slopes using Pythagorean triples millennia before Greece. Assyrian sappers built siege ramps with 20,000 bricks, each stamped with royal insignia. Sumerian farmers sowed emmer wheat by hand, praying to Dagon for fertile silt. Gutian chieftains melted down Ur's silver statues to forge crude battle axes. Babylonian judges heard testimonies in Esagil's shadow, witnesses swearing by Marduk's spear. Ashurbanipal's hunters netted lions for the palace arena, where kings reenacted divine victories. Mary's fresco painters mixed malachite green for goddess processions on palace walls. Sargon's corpse floated down the Euphrates in a reed boat, fulfilling his enemy's curse. Hammurabi's code stele stood in Babylon's marketplace, illiterate peasants touching its carved laws. Assyrian slingers launched fist-sized stones from whirled leather pouches, shattering skulls. Sumerian priests tracked Venus's cycles on temple roofs, predicting Inanna's celestial journeys. Naram Sin's hubris provoked the gods, who sent Gutian hordes to destroy Akkad in 2154 BCE. Babylonian healers applied licorice root to ulcers while chanting Ea's healing incantations. Ashurnasirpal's artisans inlaid throne legs with ivory lions, tusks shipped from Syrian elephants. Ur's royal tombs held lyres adorned with bullheads, their gold leaf flaking in darkness. Assyrian spies counted bricks in Tyre's walls, reporting thickness to sapper commanders. Hammurabi's census takers recorded 1,200 weavers in Larsa, their names pressed into clay. Sumerian merchants traded tin from Anatolia at 30-to-1 silver ratios, sealing deals with cylinder seals. Ashurbanipal's scribes copied Gilgamesh's flood story while real storms drowned Nineveh's fields. Sargon's empire fractured like dried mud, Akkadian crumbling into warring city-states. Babylonian astronomers predicted lunar eclipses within hours, mapping saros cycles on clay. Assyria's last king Ashur-balad II vanished into the Zagros Mountains in 609 BCE, his empire dust. Sumerian schoolboys recited multiplication tables, styluses trembling over clay tablets. Nebuchadnezzar's gardeners watered terraced plants with Archimedes' screws long before Greece. Assyrian deportees sang homeland lullabies while building Dur-Sharakin's colossal gates. Hammurabi's laws outlived Babylon, copied by Hittite scribes onto Anatolian tablets. Ashurbanipal's library burned slowly, clay tablets hardening like terracotta soldiers in the flames. A lone scribe in Uruk pressed final cuneiform wedges around 100 CE, his stylus echoing millennia.